Hello, everyone. It is Saturday, June 5th, I believe. June 5th, about lunchtime, and also known as First Saturday. First Saturday devotion. First Saturday devotion was started by Our Lady of Fatima. She requested a couple things. So, to attend Mass and receive communion, to make a good confession, and to pray the rosary and meditate for an extra 15 minutes upon the mysteries. And this was to be in reparation for offenses against the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and also as a remedy in conjunction with consecrating Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary to stop atheistic communism. That's a mouthful. So today, we, for the first time, had a TLM, Traditional Latin Mass, or Mass celebrated in extraordinary form, for First Saturday devotion in our area. This is a huge deal. Also found out that the priest that did it, it was his first time of his priesthood ever celebrating the Mass in the extraordinary form. So that was a big deal for him. And obviously, this parish I went to, it was definitely their first, as well as mine, extraordinary Mass, because nobody had any idea what was going on or what to do. So the first thing I did when I got home was to order a book, order the Order of the Mass, the Order of the Extraordinary Form, in the with an introduction, so I could figure out what's going on. Because I'll be honest, I thought, I go to daily Mass and I could say the Mass, in my sleep pretty much. But this was nothing like the Novus Ordo Mass, which brings me to my next point. What happens? So the traditional Mass and the new Mass are not the same at all. Like, I don't understand where the new Mass came from, other than the Eucharist. And then obviously I know the Our Father in Latin. I think that was said at some point. I'm pretty sure they said the Pater Noster. Not really sure. We were in the back and it was hard to hear. But it is nothing close to what we consider Mass in a Novus Ordo parish today. I mean, not even remotely close. I thought there would be some similarities, but other than the bells ringing and the host being consecrated and obviously communion, it was completely different. And you can tell a lot of the people in that parish had no clue what was going on, because there was a lot of women with no veils. So at least we had that under control. There were a lot of women with veils, but this parish did not know what they were getting themselves into, clearly. So this is number 1 of 5. We're doing the first 5. And I think it'll get better as it goes. Today was rough. But other than that, there are some major differences, between the traditional Mass and the Mass that we have now. And the biggest difference I see is, obviously, other than the Latin that they have stolen from us, the enemy has stolen our traditions from us. And the first thing they do when they steal traditions, steal the language. So anyway, I digress. Is the fact that in the traditional Mass, it's completely centered on God, first of all. It's completely centered on the Eucharist. You get the impression that you are not a part of it. Like, you're a part of it because you're there, and then you're going to participate in communion and receive communion, and that makes you a part of it. But other than that, this is a very ancient and solemn rite that is between the priest and Jesus. It is completely focused on the consecration. It is completely Eucharistically focused. It is not focused on the people. And I've heard that the Novus Ordo Mass is more people focused because the priest faces you and all this stuff. But it's even, you don't realize how much it's people focused until you go to a traditional Mass. So I was talking to my daughter, and I think she put it the best out of anyone I've ever heard, my little 9-year-old. I'm like, what did you like about it? And she's like, I didn't have to worry about standing up, sitting down, saying all these things. She's like, I could just sit there and look around. And I'm like, she was right. Like, that's why as Catholics, we have such a rich heritage of imagery. Like, in Novus Ordo parishes, people note that a lot of the imagery is gone, and a lot of the sacred images, there's not as many in the newer churches, but there's no time to even look at them in a Novus Ordo parish or a Novus Ordo Mass. I mean, you're constantly doing something. You're constantly worried about, what do I have to do next? Not worried, but, it's constantly thinking of, what do I have to do next? When do I have to stand? When I go up to, there's too many decisions. When I go up to receive communion, do I genuflect? Do I bow? Do I receive in the hand? Do I receive on the tongue? Do I receive from a Eucharistic minister? Do I receive from a deacon? Do I receive from a priest? It's all over the place. There's so many choices in a Novus Order Mass. You have to sing. You have to, peace be with you. A lot of people do the whole arm raising of the Our Father and all this nonsense. It's not like that in a traditional Mass. I mean, I know for you people who've been to one, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if you haven't been to one, you need to go to one. I just couldn't believe how much sitting in silent meditation there was. And if you want to solve the problems of the world, I'm telling you right now, bring back the traditional Mass. It's that simple. It really is. So many problems will be eliminated. And you could tell, like, how out of place people were, like, fidgety, like grown adults fidgeting more than my kids because they were like, I think they had anxiety that they, number one, didn't know what to do, but didn't have to do anything. It was a matter of worship. It was a matter of just meditating on the fact that you were about to receive a gift. And that's truly, you get that impression in the traditional Mass. There is nothing you can do to work for it. There is nothing you can do to participate in it. Your participation is receiving communion. That's where it needs to stop. It is between the priest and God. The priest consecrates the host, and our participation is that we receive Jesus. That's it. That's all it's about. It's, people say the Latin Mass is complicated. No, it's not. It's super simple. It forces you to humble yourself. It forces you to realize your humanity of, I am not worthy of this, number one. And I am not a part of this. This is a gift. There's nothing I could do to be a part of this. Obviously be in a state of grace to be able to receive communion, but it is so simple. The new Mass is complicated. The new Mass involves you have to do all this stuff, and, people around you are doing different things than what you're doing, because it's crazy. This was just sitting and meditating, and I never understood reading the saints and reading advice from the saints and all this stuff about, oh, you should pray during Mass, and, like, there's no time to pray during Mass in the new Mass. None. You're constantly talking, or you're constantly having to do something, or you're constantly whatever, having to listen. In this Mass, you don't have to listen. If you can pick up on some of the Latin, great. I'll be, like I said, I ordered the book, so I'll be following along with it. And mostly because somebody in there needs to know what to do, because nobody knew what to do. So hopefully I can get this book and sit in the front and be a little bit of a leader here. But it's just it's completely different. It's completely different. We have been robbed. And the other thing I want to say is, God bless that parish and all its young people. My parish, 95% is over 65. This parish, 95% was probably under the ages of 55, I would say. There was families, and then there was a lot of teenagers. Good for them, a lot of teenagers. The confession line was out the door. There was a lot of people my age, a lot of in their 20s. I saw a lot of kids, I say kids, but like men in their 20s by themselves there with their missals. Obviously, their missals were useless for this, but they were trying. So it was really inspiring. It was really inspiring to see that. It really was. It was awesome. And God bless this priest for making himself uncomfortable enough to do this, because he was clearly uncomfortable. This was obviously his first time doing this, and he said it was. But God bless him. God bless him. And he put it excellent in the homily. He said, Pope Benedict XVI said that the two Masses, should kind of complement each other, in that it's wrong that the traditional Mass is not prevalent. Like, clearly nobody knew what to do. We have been robbed of our traditions. That was apparent. That the disconnect was glaringly obvious. Most of these people never saw kneelers in their life. I'm not joking. Only, like, not everyone even wore veils. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was so obvious how much we have been robbed of our traditions. And it's sad. And it's unfortunate. and it's a cause of a lot of what's going on in the world. People don't understand that God is found in silence. That's when God speaks, in silence. He doesn't speak when you're raising your hands to say the Our Father and all this, that, and the other thing. You don't have time in the Novus Ordo Mass to hear God. You don't. And it's very people-centered. Those are the two things that I took away from this Latin Mass was it is not about us. It is not. So bring back the TLM. I'm all for it. That's all I got. I don't really have a whole lot of words for it. They're not even comparable, and I don't really think they're compatible. They're completely different. It's not the same. Like, other than the Eucharist, the Novus Ordo Mass looks like a Episcopalian service or a Lutheran service. The traditional Latin Mass looks like a Catholic Mass. It looks like the ancient priesthood from the Book of Lamentations or the Book of Exodus. Like, that's what it looks like. It's just incomparable. So, happy first Friday or Saturday to everyone, and I hope y'all have a great day and find a Latin Mass in your area. Even if you just attend it one time, it's completely different, and you'll see what I mean. Yikes. Joan of Arc Media out.